Arguably the most popular patriotic song in America was, in the 19th century, was not the Star Spangled Banner, it was Hail Columbia, a resetting, I love it, a parody of a march written by a Hessian captured by George Washington when he crossed the Delaware. Is history great or what? I mean, this is how we connect and we reinforce and we associate. There are all these great musical connections to American history. Anyway, Hail Columbia was really the President's March for George Washington. That's how it was composed. And it served as the President's March until around 1818, 1820 or so, when this unusual song, Hail to the Chief, became popular from a setting of Sir Walter Scott's Lady of the Lake poetry. And suddenly Hail to the Chief displaced the President's March. President's March became the Vice President's March. And it remained the most popular American ceremonial piece well into the 19th century. The first glimmer, the first call to name the Star Spangled Banner specifically as our national anthem comes from the pen of a minister, a Reverend Elias Nason, who after the Civil War writes a book saying we need a national song, that we are a nation that was nearly torn asunder, we are back together. Look, the French have La Marseillaise, the Germans have this and that, the English have God Save the King. This is 1869 when he publishes this book. And on page 47 or something like that, I'd have to check, he says, the best expression of American patriotism is Francis Scott Key's song. I suggest we name that our national anthem. It didn't get a movement started, but for some reason I mentioned John Philip Sousa, who was the director of the United States Marine Band for some time before he founded and toured worldwide with his own personal, private Sousa band. He played the Star Spangled Banner over 1,000 times in public, mostly as a band piece, right? It's a band, but sometimes sung. He had a lot to do with displacing Hail Columbia. By the turn of the 20th century, there are some people who really don't like the Star Spangled Banner, and they put on contests for national songs, trying to get new submissions like, I need something better than that Star Spangled Banner, you know? By 1918, coincidentally, the first year that the Star Spangled Banner is sung at the World Series, 1918, the women of Maryland, who were members of the Maryland Society, Daughters of the War of 1812, write a letter to Maryland Congressman Linthicum. Good Maryland name, right? That's where Baltimore Washington Airport stands is in Linthicum, Maryland. They write a one-sentence letter to their congressman basically saying, Francis Scott Key was a Marylander, this song was written in Maryland, we need a national anthem. You are Maryland, elected official, we want you to present and pass a bill to make it our national anthem. And it took, 1918 to 1931 before it happened.